It's no secret that younger women frequently discover attractive attributes of older males, such as life become emotionally mature, and older people who feel stable naturally. Men are noticeable, but the catch is that many, unknowingly, elderly men undermine their own chances. I've witnessed it repeatedly, males recurring in their 40s, 50s, and beyond the same errors that keep them stuck, unmarried and annoyed. The reality is that these errors don't just waste her time, they also deprive you of the chance to display your finest self, which is unfortunate, because there is so much to be gained from older males. Your knowledge, steadiness, and capacity to it comes naturally to form deep connections. Qualities that younger guys frequently lack match, but many people are unaware of it. Older males don't emphasize these characteristics, forming patterns that push women away rather than attract them. The good news is that you don't have to turn things around. You must reinvent yourself. It's not about becoming someone around. You're not. The key is to comprehend what functions and what doesn't. Minor adjustments in the way you handle relationships can make a world of distinction. By staying away from a handful typical pitfalls that you can change the way women see you, but additionally develop a stronger sense of self-assurance in whom you are. So, let's get started today. To investigate the 7 most typical older men's connection errors with younger ladies, and how staying away from these can enable more than just improved connections, but also a more robust variant of "stay with me." And together, let's discover what is actually feasible. The first mistake was to idolize her. The first error is to idolize her. Let's discuss the first and most typical errors older men make in social situations with her image being idolized by younger ladies. You're looking at a beautiful. The younger woman exudes vitality, charm and beauty, and you sense that don't let pressure cause your mind to race. She's way out of my league, so screw this up. What follows is that you freeze and become anxious. You begin to go above and beyond you overcompensate to win her over by being too courteous, too agreeable, and directing the discussion toward the safest and least inspiring subjects. You attempt difficult to avoid offending somebody or making a mistake that you ultimately fade into the background. This is the awkward fact. This strategy backfires greatly. Men who decide don't appeal to women. They are attracted to men who are able to endure next to them with grace and equality, self-assurance and self-confidence. When you look up to someone, you put them above you unconsciously, as if their worth surpasses your own. This way of thinking leads to an imbalanced dynamic where each exchange feels similar to a high-stakes exam. You begin second speculating about oneself and overanalyzing your statements, displaying insecurity. And insecurity is more than simply ugly. It is emotionally taxing for both of them. Parties, the secret to conquering this is in altering your perception of her. Considering younger women to be unreachable prizes to win, rather than focusing on what they have flaws because they are human. Eccentric and flawed, just like you, the instant you start interacting normally. Regarding women, regardless of age, the pedestal collapses begin with casual, sincere discussions, a tendency of speaking with women of all origins and ages. Without worrying too much about the result, this you'll learn through experience that they're not trophies or legendary animals, but people who are able to connect, and recognizing this change in viewpoint gives you the confidence to approach them easily. And genuineness. And here's an important: remind yourself that you are not trying out for her. Acceptance. She isn't a unique relic that you must prove that she is someone else. Managing compatibility and life is a mutual process. It is a reciprocal relationship. If you are both assessing whether, when you adopt, a relationship feels natural. With this attitude, the fear of rejection diminishes. Its hold, you'll realize that your value is independent of her decision. There will always be someone else out. there, and there are plenty of chances for meaningful relationships where real power is found. Acknowledging your value and being grounded. Release the pressure to prove yourself and approach relationships with assurance and genuineness. Once you quit praising yourself, open the door to true equilibrium exchanges in which respect for one another and admiration can actually. The second mistake was answering the age question incorrectly. The second flourish mistake is a mess. This is your age question picture. Enjoying a smooth and pleasurable talking to a younger woman. Everything was going smoothly until she casually asks, "How old are you? Do you like a lot of older men?" This is the point at which anxiety begins to surface. Some people react in a hurried, awkward way, while others stumble and attempt to do not answer the question. The confident is an intriguing man overall, who had unexpectedly captured her interest begins to contract before her. Here's the question is not the true problem. That causes the pain. It's your response to it. When you answer with, "You're giving her the impression of insecurity. You should feel ashamed of your age." And if you consider it an issue, it is more likely to be seen that way. Additionally, this fear is a result of societal stories that evoke strong emotions in older men, feeling self-conscious about dating younger. It's simple for women to internalize these messages that cause uncertainty or discomfort, but, to be clear, you're not the issue. The true difficulty is in how. When the subject of age comes up, you frame it. Boost your self-confidence, or lack of it will handle DCT effectively based on how it is viewed. While becoming older can even turn into an appealing attribute that is indicative of the feels stable and wise. Bring to the currently, there are two practical methods for answer this question in a light-hearted manner. Comedy or cool-headedness, if you're having a natural sense of humor, allows you to try saying something to diffuse the situation. As if I were really too old for you. Never exercise while grinning teasingly, or let's see humorously count on your fingers. How about your humor? I'm 700 months old, reduces stress, and produces a moment of, if humor doesn't feel the same, genuine to you, a straightforward and calm, simply stating the response is just as effective. Your age with a smile and assurance, such as, "I'm 47, then take a moment to seamlessly return the discussion to a subject that you're both appreciating. This strategy demonstrates to her that your age doesn't matter, and more crucially that you feel at ease with. Here, self-assurance is crucial when you take pride in your age. Confidence that you're rephrasing it as a strength rather than a constraint that you're displaying. Tell her you're safe and grounded, attributes that captivate individuals in a natural way. Keep in mind, how you respond to the age query establishes the tone for her opinion of you. If you approach it with confidence and calmness, it shows that you respect yourself for your age and identity, so the next time. When you are asked this question, don't avoid it, own it, accept it, and keep on. The dialogue, such as the confident you, man, are the third error that explains why leading. The third error, how using money to lead undercuts. Sincere relationships when money erodes sincere relationships that many older men are a part of. The mistake of assuming their financial success is the most important factor in the idea of luring younger women proceeds as follows. If I show her, she'll be impressed by how much I have, and I'll get her, so that their wallets take the lead. Displaying pricey, opulent vehicles, holidays, well-paying jobs, or the upscale eateries they often visit, some of which even take it further by purchasing presents, paying expenses, or money transfers to ladies they hardly know. But this strategy could catch her first glance. It's probably the reality about the improper type of attention. The main focus when you earn money is diminish yourself to less than, and financial success can be achieved with ATMs. Appealing since it conveys steadiness and ambition, but if you only focus on it, women will be drawn to you since you're not as a person's value, but as a means to an aim, being aware that these women have no interest in relationship or regard for one another. They're concentrated on what you can offer materially. If you're looking for significance relationships, it's time to change the put your fortune aside and cease using it as your story's first act. In place of overtime, it organically emerges as a fragment of the far more comprehensive image of who you possess: greater character qualities, comedy, as well as life experiences which have molded you. These attributes are what actually produces relationship with the ladies who are valuable to you, are not searching for someone to finance their desired way of life, for someone whom they can trust, respect, and when you lead, they share their life with you. With your personality displaying assurance, you'll draw people with your depth and genuineness, women that respect you for your true self. Your money is merely a tool, not to use crutches sparingly, but don't allow them to describe where your genuine confidence from internally. And when you take charge of that, you provide the foundation for connections based on reciprocal regard and sincere connection, which is what really distinguishes a man. Stand. The fourth error we made was falling into the error number 4, getting lost in the mentor trap. A common mistake made by older men is the mentor trap. Make while interacting with younger females is taking up the function of a mentor or mentor. They think that by demonstrating their expertise, whether it be in the field of mentoring or life lessons, they will eventually demonstrate their value. However, beneath this useful interior, they frequently hide a passionate side. At first glance, this can seem interesting, innocuous. You're displaying your expertise, which may appear to be an advantageous way to stand out. But this is where the problem starts. When you position oneself as a guide, you inadvertently eliminate any romantic spark you may have into the esteemed counselor she admires, to instead of the possible mate she may wish for the issue to worsen. When you choose to initiate contact because, for all that time, you've been acting like your lovely gesture instructor, catches caught her off guard rather than feeling gratified, she could become agitated or deceived, which is why this occurs, because you have established a dynamic in which you are the tutor, and the student is departing limited space for a passionate or playful relationship. If you truly desire a young to be perceived by a lady as more than a mentor or buddy, you must lay the foundation from the start, adding a dash of light-hearted flirtation. Comedy and sincere praise goes a long way by establishing an entertaining and lively environment. You set the tone early on that can develop into a real attractiveness that is only waiting. Too lengthy to show interest frequently causes wise to make an unpleasant turn. Recommendation to a hopeful suitor, which hardly ever feels right for either individual. Here, being genuine is crucial. The goal is to investigate a romantic bond. Don't act like you're just interested. As a mentor, demonstrate to her the self-assurance, your playful side that goes well with your life experience. Keep in mind that the main focus is balance. Sure, your knowledge and perceptions can appear attractive, but they shouldn't obscure the reality that you're also able to produce chemistry and excitement. Finally, letting go of the mentor disguise enables genuine attraction to flourish. You'll stay away from the feared friend zone, since you're not paying attention, on merely serving as a supportive figure in her life rather than showcasing yourself as an all-encompassing person who blends real-world experience with charm and warmth. That's the type of dynamic that produces long-lasting. The fifth connection error. The fifth error, excessive pursuit of youthfulness. Going too far in the pursuit of youth. Typical traps that many elderly men encounter is making an excessive effort to look younger. They replace their typical look with fashionable attire that isn't really appropriate. They sporadically use slang, comprehend and pursue any culture. At the present, mania appears to be widespread in attempting to fit in with a younger audience, but regrettably, these endeavors frequently backlash rather than radiating one's self-assurance and laid-back appeal they bring, appearing compelled, uneasy, and finally, especially insecure young women seem to notice this immediately. Instead of appreciating your efforts, they'll probably experience a disengage when you realize you're not at comfort with your true self. The basic truth is that we're attempting to. It rarely makes you look or act younger. Attractiveness, it can actually have the opposite effect by highlighting any underlying concerns regarding what actually makes you attractive at your age. Is your capacity to accept your age. Confidently, a well-groomed, fashionable, an individual who inherently carries himself with poise will always be more powerful. Presence, as opposed to someone who seems to be pretending if you want to feel, and make the most of your investments in areas that genuinely matter. Pick a wardrobe that displays your adulthood while maintaining, put your fitness and health first. Not to go back in time magically, but to guarantee your vitality, vigor, and feeling at ease in your own skin. In discussions, avoid the desire to absorb the newest pop culture or language. References that aren't actually part of your world, rather than openly sharing experiences and insights that one of your greatest gifts is wisdom. Assets. Keep in mind that younger ladies frequently look for elderly men, specifically for their self-assurance, stability, and life experience. By making an excessive effort to look being young, you run the risk of undermining those very attributes that make you. However, accepting who you really are doesn't imply letting go, which entails enhancing what you currently possess and making the most of your inherent strengths. Consequently, avoid the temptation to compete. Alone with a younger generation. You weren't meant for that game, grass, to play, but it's not where you really belong. Lean into your identity to gain power. Person molded by important teachings and experiences, and allow your sincere, in the end, confidence speaks for itself. Authenticity will always be far more appealing than any flimsy attempts to go back. Music time error number 6. Entering all of your error number 6. Emphasizing all of your accomplishments in the forefront on a regular basis. Monopolizing is a mistake made by elderly guys. Discussions by illuminating their achievements. They think that by describing their achievements in the workplace, academic achievements or noteworthy life event situations, that they will inevitably demonstrate their value to a younger lady. But there is nothing fundamentally incorrect with feeling pleased with your accomplishments. Showing her all of your praise can push her away in reality. Why does this occur as a result of your dominance over the conversation with your list of accomplishments? You unintentionally changed the subject. Only talking to yourself ceases to be a reciprocal relationship and starts to resemble a personal advertisement. Rather than projecting a sense of assurance, you could come across as conceited or worse. Yet in dire need of approval from younger ladies, such as in general, anyone else wants a real connection. They are not seeking employment. Application that they're trying to find meaningful communication that transcends on a CV. A ticking box is real. Mutual attraction fosters recognizing common experiences and genuine emotional connection. Not by reading a list of accomplishments, the answer, put your accomplishments in your back pocket and allow they appear. Naturally, or much better, give her some time. To find them independently, concentrating on being there and asking meaningful inquiries and paying attention to what she has to express. When she feels understood, and she is much more likely to be appreciated. Interested in your history and achievements, keep in mind a self-assured man doesn't have to prove himself all the time. He is sincere and deserving of his manner. Interest in other people says a lot. Turning your focus on her instead of shaking it off, all you've done produces a balanced and interacting discussion by emphasizing your identity as an individual, not merely what you've accomplished. You create an environment where deeper connection can eventually take root. That feeling of genuine reciprocity is what keeps you both sincere, made the seventh investment error. The seventh error: neglecting your physical presence, ignoring your actual presence. A significant mistake that many elderly guys make is disregard their actual presence over the years. It is simple to believe that your accomplishments, character, or life. However, experience will always win out. In actuality, attraction frequently depends equally on your presentation. Yourself as it relates to your identity. Nobody expects you to look like this inside, a star in an action film, but allowing your health and grooming are neglected indicates a lack of effort, which can rapidly saturate a younger woman's intrigue when you look disheveled, you haven't, or your clothes don't fit well. Taking care of your general well-being can overshadow even your best features. Character, especially among younger women, are attracted to the steadiness and assurance that older men frequently radiate, but if your look doesn't. When you match that energy, a dis between your self-presentation and how you genuinely wish to be seen as, it's not about acting like you're 25 again. Regarding being the most refined and colorful representation of your current self, it's helpful to know that enhancing your being physically present can be simple, beginning with the essentials. A well-groomed haircut, facial hair, and well-kept nails. Use timeless to freshen your clothing. Items that fit well and go well with your individual preferences, and, of course, priorities your well-being through consistent exercise and a healthy diet not only improves your look, but also enhance your self-assurance and general disposition for those who has allowed things to go unchecked. It's never too late to emphasize on easy adjustments, such as smaller wardrobe or improved posture. Restart can significantly affect how others' perceptions of you and your feelings toward yourself. In the end, your physical presence reflects the extent to which you have self-esteem and respect yourself. Is actually magnetic by considering your looks as a component of your identity instead of an after giving it some thought. You'll radiate the pleasant, grounded energy that attracts individuals when you truly dedicate yourself to. In summary, if you invest in yourself, others will follow. Your own development, which you are inherently someone else wants to put money into. That's why we have taken the time to examine the 7 typical errors made by older men. Considering younger women, here's a brief dishonoring her and elevating her. Fumbling with the age query that leads to talks with your bank balance acting as the mentor. Going too far to seem young and dominate the talk about your accomplishments and shortcomings, about your actual presence at the core of all these dangers is one fundamental problem of not accepting and accept yourself as a young woman, are not seeking a romantic partner. They are attracted to confidence and genuineness and self-knowledge. When you stop feeling the desire to demonstrate yourself and quit worrying about your perceived shortcomings and instead use your vigor into becoming the greatest possible, everything about you changes at the Stoic spirits. The guiding concept encompasses more than only assisting men in becoming better relationships. It's important to support them, to lead a purposeful life, and to strengthening the correction of these 7 errors is more than just determining the appropriate. It's time to redefine your relationship mate. Attitude and creating the life you really desire when you conform to Stoic wisdom. You discover that genuine change occurs from internal fortitude and self-respect. If this lesson struck a chord with you, pause to think about where you can get better. Start with tiny, concentrated adjustments today. whether that entails boosting your self-esteem and improving your communication abilities or taking care of your physical progress in health, is a process rather than a one-time occasion. I appreciate you coming. Always keep in mind a man who makes investments he naturally motivates others to do the same. Likewise, I'm excited to share more insights on the Stoic with you next time. Spirit.